Time to play baseball here at Great American Ballpark, and we keep our fingers crossed as far as the possibility or the lack thereof of any kind of precipitation tonight. Right now, things look awfully good. And, of course, these two teams will have a short night because they'll wind things up here at 2:10 tomorrow afternoon. The Reds have an off day Friday. Then the Indians will be in on Saturday and Sunday. And then comes the much-anticipated 4-day All-Star break. Lorenzo Cain back in the leadoff spot tonight. He'll kick it off against Sonny Gray. Our first pitch presented by Belterra Park Cincinnati, proud sponsor of your Cincinnati Reds. It's a ball, and this game is underway. As was the case last night, our game time temperature tonight, 83 degrees. Lorenzo Cain, a .245 batter, and the 1-0 pitch to him, and that's in the air and out of play to right. Moustakas, Braun also due up here in the top of the first inning. And going into play tonight, Milwaukee still a game up on the Cubs. Both of those teams lost last night. Breaking ball on the inside corner for a strike. Cardinals have now fallen 3.5 games off the pace, and they are under 500. 1 game under. Pittsburgh 2 under. They're 4 and back, and the Reds are 5.5 out. Swing and a miss. A good sequence of pitches by Sonny Gray came in on the inner part of the plate with a breaking ball for strike 2 call, and then went away and had Lorenzo Cain chasing in vain for a punch out.
Well, the first breaking ball he threw to Cain went straight down. That one started on the outside corner and just took a left turn.
Here now is Mike Moustakas, who crushed his 24th homer of the year last night here. And that fastball buzzes him inside for ball 1. Our plate umpire tonight is Mike Estabrook. Bruce Dreckman at first. He's the crew chief. John Lipka at second. And Chad Fairchild over at third base. Sonny Gray rocks and works. And it's up and out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike. Moustakas bats him left-handed, to be followed by Ryan Braun. Gray making his 17th start. 394 earned run average. The league batting .230 against him. And has given up only 70 hits in 82 1/3 innings. That's a swing and a miss, and a weak swing by Moustakas on a breaking ball down and in. Meanwhile, plate umpire Estabrook getting a new supply of baseballs as Sonny Gray moves ahead in the count. Straightaway outfield, shifting to the pull side of the infield, the right side for Moustakas. And Gray kicks and throws, and it's a swing and a bouncer back to the box. Sonny Gray goes airborne to get it, and he throws him out, 2 away. Here's Ryan Braun. Did not play in the opening game of the series on Monday night. Got in there last night and had a 1-for-5 night. Now back in tonight. Guy who will own almost every offensive record for the Milwaukee Brewers by the time he retires. He owns a boatload of them already, and certainly shows no signs of retiring anytime in the foreseeable future as Sonny Gray goes away and he swings and misses.
Sonny's got that breaking ball working early, doesn't he?
Here in the first inning he does. Outfield playing Braun as an opposite field hitter. That's another swing and a miss on another pitch off the corner.
Might have to throw that again.
I mean, he's not giving you any reason why you wouldn't. Well, Braun regrouping, steps out of the box and now gets back in. And Sonny Gray wheeling and dealing, and that pitch a little bit low. Braun allows it to go by, and it's a ball and 2 strikes with 2 outs, and the base is empty. First baseman Eric Thames, who swings him left-handed, waiting on deck. Sonny Gray trying to take care of Ryan Braun and end the first inning very quickly. And he does. He went away again and struck him out swinging, and the inning is over. Strikeout, ground out, strikeout. Indeed a good start for the Reds righty. On we go, bottom of inning number 1. Jesse Winker will be first up to test the attributes of one right-hander, Yolis Chacin, who is 3-8. making his 16th start. Stockily built right-hander delivers to Winker, and Jesse looks at ball one. 13 homers, 26 runs batted in for Winker to go with a .252 batting average. Chacin is 3-3 lifetime in 10 starts against the Reds. That pitch inside. And here in 2019, a win, his only decision. 6'3", 255-pounder. He's a big one. Pitching. And a call strike. 2-1. Votto next. Winker settles back into the left-handed batter's box. And the pitch on the way, and that's pulled foul. Way out in front of that ball, and shot it on a low line down beyond the Reds' dugout. Evening the count out now at 2-2 on Winker.
Chacin definitely has to use both the breaking ball and the changeup to make his fastball look a little bit better. Doesn't throw the ball nearly as hard as he did earlier in his career.
Back with a break-even pitch, and it is ball three. I thought plate umpire Mike Estabrook was going to ring him up, and for whatever the reason, he decided not to, and the count is full. Got a slight breeze blowing out toward left, and that one is lifted out of play. 3-2 and holding on Jesse Winker. Jesse back in the box as Chacin throws his seventh pitch, and another foul ball. This one finds a netting behind the plate, and Jesse giving Chacin a bit of a workout right out of the chute. So a big day tomorrow. I would imagine it will begin tonight. All those folks having the 4th of July off, and there'll be some serious rocking and rolling.
There was a lot of folks on the interstate today going somewhere.
God bless him. Swung on, grounded to first. There's Thames, and he will easily beat Winker to the bag for out number one. That'll bring up Joey Votto. He has 2 home runs in his career matchups against Yolis Chacin. Last 31 games, a .359 batting average, and coming into this one overall at .270. He had a big hit for the Redlegs last night when he doubled Nick Senzel in from first base with 2 out, and the Reds down a run in the 8th inning. That tied the game up, and then the Reds, of course, won it in exciting fashion in the 11th. Chacin kicks, works, and Votto takes, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. So he starts out against Votto exactly as he did against Winker, falling behind in the count 2-0. Pitch lined into left center, base hit. Quickly over Kane to backhand the ball, and Votto throwing on the brakes and hustling back into the bag as he singles with 1 down, and that will bring up a Eugenio Suarez.
You know, I could be wrong about this, Marty, but just visually watching the swing of Joey Votto over the last 10 days, 2 weeks, the swing is more level rather than a lift swing that we saw earlier in the season. Is the ball hitting into the gaps and over the fence? Not as much, but he sure is getting a lot of hits.
That he is. Here's a guy who's been getting a lot of home runs. He hit 3 in the last 2 games as he settles in with 1 out and Votto aboard. And the pitch to him is high and inside, ball 1. He homered in the first inning last night. The night before, he clubbed home runs his final 2 times at the plate. And as a result, comes in with 20 homers and 54 runs batted in. He had 19 home runs last year at the All-Star break when he was an All-Star. The pitch, and that's in for a strike. It's 1-1. Straightaway outfield and deep. Big gap on the right side of the infield. And the pitch on the way, and that's taken for a strike away. So Chacín moving the ball around here against Eugenio Suarez, and right now with a measure of success. Votto aboard and taking his lead at first. The right-hander straightens up and lets it go, and that one's a breaking ball way off the plate outside. Suarez not having any of it, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
You don't have to cheat so early on the fastball of Chacín. May allow you to wait just that extra split second longer for the breaking ball or the changeup.
Now the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. Got him with a slow breaking ball. And a punch out, the first of the night for Chacín, and now he'll deal with Red second baseman Scooter Gennett with 2 out. During your next trip to the ballpark, we invite you to visit concession stands for the Kroger meal deal, which includes a hot dog, a Coke, pop chips, and during this homestand, Twizzlers, one of Tommy Thrall's favorites. Be sure to pick up Twizzlers at Kroger stores throughout Reds country. Here is Gennett with 2 out. Swing and a miss. It has been a slow start for Gennett since coming off the injured list. 17 at-bats. He's had 2 singles. And he's just right now trying to feel his way along. And
timing is getting better.
Yep.
It just takes a little bit. The key here is he's healthy. I think that's the biggest asset.
Check swing and checked it in time. 1-1. We are scoreless in the bottom of the first. The Brewers went out in order against Sonny Gray. Votto had the hit with 1 out. And now Gennett trying to extend the inning for the man on deck, Yasiel Puig. Here comes the 1-1. And it swung on, it popped up, and it'll have enough on it to get it out of play. Getting into the first and second row of seats at the extreme home plate end of the third base dugout. New baseball in hand. Chacín will continue his deliberations against Scooter Gennett. At the belt, the right-hander, and now the pitch on the way, and that's swung on and hit into left field. It'll be Ryan Braun's ball to play, which he will do, and that ends the inning. 1 hit, 1 left. We are through an inning. Glad you're with us on this Wednesday night. We go to the top of the second inning. It's a 0-0 ball game with a middle third coming up against Sonny Gray, Thames, and Hura and Gamble. An impressive start for Sonny, and punch out 2 of the 3 faces, and now goes to work on the left-handed batting Eric Thames, who has made a regular habit of hitting home runs here at Great American Ballpark, and he takes a fastball inside ball 1. We with us, a man who just recently got a haircut. Tommy Thrall apparently made a big deal about that.
That's why he's the best in the business.
I reckon he's see Trent Rosecrans from The Athletic, and there's a call strike. What's the big deal? Everybody gets haircuts. I like to. Would you ask some guy on the street to cut yours? That's what it looks like. Here's the pitch. That's a breaking ball for a strike.
Here we go.
Trent.
I'm afraid of being in the firing line here. I'm actually kind of glad that it's not directed at me for once.
Here's a hard hit ball, backhanded in short right field, and the throw not in time. In fact, it gets by Joey Votto, and quickly backing up on it is Kurt Casale in front of the Reds dugout. That will be an infield base hit for Eric Thames. The ball was fielded backhand style in short right field by Gennett. And an extremely long throw, and Thames doesn't run all that badly at all and was able to beat it. The ball got by, but no further advancement. So a leadoff single, and here's the rookie second baseman, Keston Hiura. I admire your work for a lot of reasons, but one of the things that I most admire about you is coming up with interesting topics of things to write about that, quite honestly, if other people think about them, they don't write them. The piece you did on Luis Castillo, the background about how he became a Cincinnati Red, and now the story breaks yesterday that longtime voice of the New York Yankees and obviously a colleague of ours, John Sterling, who's had a run of consecutive games for something like 3 decades or 2.5 decades or whatever it is going to take a series off beginning tomorrow. And that's big-time news in New York, and you're going to do a piece on it, but from a different perspective.
I'm not doing it. Lindsay Adler is doing it, our Yankees writer, and she was just kind of asking if, she sent us the baseball reference page. We have a Slack, so we can all talk to each other, and that's one of the beauties of the Athletic is we have so many people all over the place. She said, hey, look if you see anybody in your organization, because the last game he didn't do was 1989.
Right.
So look at the 1989 Yankees.
Keston Hiura strikes out swinging, and that's out number 1 of the inning.
And so I was kind of looking down the name, and I was like, I think I saw Steve Balboni yesterday, so I'll go talk to Steve Balboni for you. So, no, Lindsay's doing it. But it's actually like you bring that up the other day when the tragic incident with Tyler Skaggs. Mm-hmm. We have this whole thing. People are coming in on that and figuring out how to cover it. And my first thought was Darryl Kyle.
Correct. Absolutely right.
And I kind of thought, you know what? I think there's something here. I just kind of texted Walt Jocketty, and I said, hey, Walt, if you don't want to talk about this, I totally understand, but...
Ground ball into right field, a base hit. And the runner will stop at second. So a couple of hits here in the inning. Put Brewer runners at first and second as Gamble signals to right, and that'll bring up the shortstop, Tyler Saladino.
And Walt said, no, sure, I'll talk about it. And we sat in the back room here during the game the other night and talked for a little bit about that. And it just, when something like that happens, there are so many other things that need to happen. And as the general manager, especially when the team's on the road,
right,
he was the guy who had to do everything from identify the body, which just... to then saying, oh, we're not going to play this game today.
Yeah.
And everything else, and trying to find Darryl Kyle's wife and tell her. And so just the whole checklist of things that you have to go through, there's
the hard stuff.
Yeah.
The very difficult stuff.
The very difficult stuff, and also the very minute stuff.
Yeah.
There are so many different things, and Walt was great about it. And he had a couple times where he just had to stop because it hit him.
Yeah.
And he said this whole thing hit him, and it was tough. But again, like you said, the way we do it at the Athletic, and not to turn this into a commercial for the Athletic, although I can give you a good coupon code here in a minute.
It's so bad.
Is just that I can pivot like that. And I can do something. I was talking to some guys today about ejections because that interests me.
Tyler Saladino's half swinging to fall behind in the count 1-2.
And so in the next couple of days, I'll probably have something because David Bell has 6 ejections. And I think Ron Gardenhire has 7 right now.
Whoa.
The single season record held by a couple people is 11. So, this is like Sosa McGuire for managerial ejections.
How about that? Be interesting to watch now. Here's a rocket down the left field line, but a foul ball.
But so it was really interesting. So those are kind of the things that we get to do and are really super fun.
When might the piece on?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I have a couple things. I wanted to grab Buddy because I saw Buddy Bell. He twice led his league in ejections as a manager. Once the American League and once the National. So he's kind of like the Frank Robinson of managerial ejections.
So the apple doesn't fall far from the tree then.
Yeah.
2 men on, 1 man out, a ball and 2 strikes on Saladino with the catcher Manny Pena due to bat next. They've got Thames at second. They've got Gamble at first as they threaten, they meaning the Brewers, here in the top of the second. And Sonny Gray back to the plate, and Saladino goes around, or it sure looked like it. He did. Breaking ball, strike 3, 2 out in the inning.
And I'll give Buddy some credit because he when he led the National League, that broke up a string of Bobby Cox leading the league.
So that's no small order.
That's pretty tough to do.
That truly is.
To top Bobby Cox.
Now, who holds the record of 11 ejections in 1 year?
There's like 3 guys. I think Cox did it once. I'm not exactly sure. John McGraw was the first guy to get ejected 11 times.
He's not in that list, is he?
No. It was someone contemporary of John McGraw.
Okay.
And I think Bobby Cox did it 1 year.
I might have covered one of those John McGraw ejections. I think about that. Possibly. You mentioned that code that people.
Yeah. Hey, look at that.
If you've got a code for a barber, give it to my boy back here. You get a discount.
Hang in there, Tom.
Here's 1-0 pitch. And Manny Pena takes 2 balls and no strikes.
So, was this like your going away present? Was a new Bobo to beat up your whole last
Let me tell
year?
you something. When I'm gone next year, there is nothing that can be said or done to him it'll be like water rolling off a duck's back. It'll be so easy. He'll thumb his nose at the world.
Oh, my poor young colleague Robert Murray got a full hour of Marty Brenneman today.
Well, it wasn't just not me. Me and Brian Anderson, we got together and we talked to him, and he's a nice young man.
He came up to me because he had asked me before. He's like, "Hey, I know Brian has this relationship with Marty. Do you think Marty would be good to talk to?" I go, "Well."
2-1 pitch. Ground ball hit to short. And the flip to second just barely got Ben Gamble, and that ends the inning. An enlightening conversation, see Trent Rosecrans. We enjoyed it. Baseball's 2 biggest events of the summer, they're back-to-back. The action begins with the T-Mobile Home Run Derby on ESPN July 8th at 8 p.m. Eastern. And then catch baseball's biggest stars at the 90th MLB All-Star Game presented by MasterCard July 9th on Fox. Coverage begins 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Sonny Gray pitches out of a 2-on jam, and now Yasiel Puig starts things off here in the home second. And he looks at a first pitch strike from Yolis Chassin. 242 on the year, 18 home runs, and 46 RBIs for Yasiel Puig. And the pitch stays inside a ball. Chassin got through the first inning without allowing the Reds anything, which is no small accomplishment, given the fact that this team. Here's a drive into left center. He's done it again. He'll touch them all on his 19th home run of the year, and it is 1-0 Cincinnati in inning number 2. This guy is really starting to make his presence felt in that Reds lineup now.
That's a little sweet spot for Yasiel Puig. That left center field gap just to the left of the Starfire bullpen out there. And when he hits it, it's a laser shot.
That's the truth. Here now is Derek Dietrich and a foul ball. Yeah, the Reds leading the world in runs scored in the first inning. Going into play tonight, they'd scored 70 times in the first inning, and also leading in home run, slugging percentage, on-base percentage, and ranked second in first inning batting average. So Chassin gets through inning number 1, but not so fortunate in inning 2 as Puig takes him deep. Oh, black and blue himself, and they're down a strike. Derek Dietrich, 16 times he's been hit by pitches this season to lead the major leagues. Pitch is high and away, a ball, a strike. Batting at .223, and before that blast by Puig, he was sitting on 18, which is the number that Dietrich is at the moment. Very high in the air, right side, chasing toward the Reds dugout is Thames, and it's out of play. Western and Southern Financial Group wants to strike out cancer all season long. Every time a Reds pitcher strikes out a batter, Western and Southern will make a donation to the Barrett Cancer Center. As Western and Southern says, when it comes to fighting cancer, we are all in this one together. Now the 1-2 pitch. That's in the dirt.
That big old fella down there put his hand out to try to catch that ball. I think he wished he hadn't.
Did he get hurt?
I think he's still shaking his hand.
That's the price you pay. Two balls and 2 strikes. That's a high pop-up. That'll be in play on the third base side in foul ground, and after a long run, Mike Moustakas tracks it down.
All right, folks, it is time for the Cincinnati Bell trivia question of the game. Text the word vote along with your answer of A, B, or C to 66128 for your chance to win a pair of tickets to the Reds Hall of Fame and Museum, a $25 Skyline Chili gift card, $25 Dunkin' Donuts gift card, and a free haircut from Great Clips. All of this brought to you by Cincinnati Bell, connecting what matters.
Indeed.
You ready for this?
Yes, I am.
In the 5th inning of the 1954 All-Star Game, Ted Kluszewski hit a 2-run home run to become the first Red to homer in an All-Star Game.
Wow.
In the 8th inning of that game, one of Klu's teammates hit what remains the only pinch hit home run by a Red in All-Star history.
How about that?
Your question, who was that player?
Oh, good.
Was it A, Ed Bailey, B, Gus Bell, C, Wally Post?
2 balls and 1 strike on Jose Iglesias, who had the big hit last night, chopping that ball over the first baseman's head down the line, enabling Quigg to come around to score the winning run. The 2-1 pitch, and that's a call strike. So either Ed Bailey, Gus Bell, or Wally Post.
Those are your choices. Or you can go off the board if you'd like.
Just pick somebody else. Foul ball. I really had no idea about this one, so I've got a 33 1/3% chance of getting it right. And I am going to say, for the moment, I'm going to say Wally Post.
So you're going to go with C.
I am.
And just put your odds down around 15%.
2-2 pitch. And a base hit into right.
How does he do it?
I don't know. I really, truly do not know.
I think you're better off having Iglesias put the ball in play on the first 2 pitches than you are to get to 2 strikes.
There's no question. I mean, and everybody in captivity knows where he's trying to hit the ball. He makes no bones about it. And yet, he is incredibly successful in doing it.
Right between first and second base with 2 strikes. You throw it out there, he whacks it.
So a 1-out single. And here's Kurt Casale, and the pitch is inside for ball 1. Casale has struggled mightily of late. He's 1 for his last 13. Well, I forgot about that, didn't you?
I was hoping you did.
I didn't. Yasiel Puig's home run traveled an estimated 445 feet. Reds home run powered by NOCO. NOCO, start dead batteries.
Notice I wasn't asking for it.
I wanted you to have it. Runner going. Pitch is bounced foul. And Puig's home run delivered the Reds' first run of the game. The first run delivered to you by Integrity Express Logistics, a grand slam for all of your freight plays. Visit IELFreight.com. Just a moment ago, I dialed Jim Day to see how he was doing down in the dugout. He apparently was doing very well.
Was he on the air?
Yeah, hey, up the phone rang and he checked it. And I think he knew who it was from.
Well, there was no doubt that was a straight steal attempt by Iglesias on the foul ball because he was diving head first into second base.
Here's a pitch. That ball is hit into center. Hit well. Going back, Kane still going back. Looking up, makes a catch. I'll tell you, he can flat play center field. He got turned around twice, and he was able to turn the right way at the last moment to make the catch. So a tough break for Kurt Casale, who stung that ball, but unfortunately hit it at one of the better guys at that position in baseball. 2 out.
Toughest play to make, that line drive right over the top of your head, and he made that look easy.
He really did. Here's Sonny Gray. Reds with a 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the second inning. Way outside, ball 1. That's an inside thing that we broadcasters have, and that is to call people on their cell phones when they are on the air, and we know they're on the air.
And we know that they forget to turn their phone off.
Correct. But nobody ever did it better than what Jeff Brantley did on Tom Brenneman. Doing a Fox football NFL game. And he called him while he was doing his stand-up to begin the telecast. 2-1 the count, and you heard the phone ring.
I was in Mississippi.
It's the best.
I think he was doing the Cowboys game with Troy.
2-1 pitch. That's a call strike. I know he was thrilled, too.
He didn't answer.
2 balls, 2 strikes with 2 out.
Not sure that he acknowledged me for about 3 months.
And a base hit into right.
Stop that.
Just served that baby right into right field. And a 4th hit of the year for Sonny Gray. That advances Iglesias on to second and will bring the leadoff batter Jesse Winker back with 2 men aboard.
Well, that was just a cement mixer for Chastain. A little spinner up and out over the plate. Gray didn't try to do too much with it, just slap it through the right side of the infield. Give this guy a chance to go long and far.
Now, if you're a hitter, nothing wrong with those spinners. Here now is Jesse Winker. Bounced out to first base on a 3-2 pitch in the first inning. Ball 1. Winker, a .255 batter with runners in scoring position, and right now he's got Iglesias out at second with Gray at first. Breaking ball strike. Yes, he taps the plate with the head of the bat. Manny Pena running through the signs for the benefit of Yoeli Chacin. And here's the 1-1. Foul ball. That's out of play.
You know, I've always wondered what goes into a hitter's mind when he selects the color of his bat. I never quite figured that out while I was playing. I just got the gold and brown because it looked good on the mantle. Because I wasn't going to hit with it.
No kidding.
But these guys hit with it.
You have to think about the color of your walls at home and
a little interior design work.
Exactly. Winker reaches and just got a little bit of that ball to stay alive. Tomorrow at 2:10, that's the game time of the final game between these two teams. Luis Castillo for the Redlegs, right-hander Brandon Woodruff for the Brewers. We've got Castillo at 7-3, Woodruff at 10-2 for Milwaukee, and then Saturday, the beginning of that 2-game get-together with the Indians, and that'll be a 4:10 game. Anthony DeSclafani against right-hander Shane Bieber. Line drive, right field, but fielded in short right with a throw from second baseman Hira in time to get Winker and end the inning. So the shift pays off big time that time for Milwaukee. The Reds get the home run by Puig. They strand two.
Top of the third inning as the Brewers come to the plate. Reds leading this one 1-0, courtesy of the leadoff home run in the second by Yasiel Puig. And the Reds almost added a few more. But the hard hit ball by Winker ends the second inning for the Reds. And Gray will take a 1-0 lead here to the third. Gray has had the curveball, breaking ball combination working awfully good here in the first couple of innings. Already struck out 4 batters. Did allow a couple of singles in that second inning. Neither hit very hard. But he'll get Yolis Chacin, the pitcher, to begin with, and then we go back to the top of the order, Lorenzo Cain and Mike Moustakas. Reds trying to capitalize on a bit of momentum after the 11-inning win last night. Yasiel Puig, as we mentioned earlier, scoring all the way from first base on a base hit to right field by Jose Iglesias. Gray was on the base paths, and normally if you're a base runner and the final out is made and you're on the base paths, it takes a bit of time to get yourself back out there and get ready to go. It seems like Gray is about in that spot ready to go. Sally will shoot the ball down to second base. The Reds will throw it around, and Chacin will make his way to the plate. Brewers have yet to score in the first 3 innings in either game 1 or game 2. Of course, they came back awfully strong in the first ball game to win that one 8-6. So here's Chacin, and Gray delivers a fastball upstairs, and that's going to be a strike. High and over the outside corner. Again, Desali sets down and away, and the breaking ball bounces to the plate. Gray trying to get a little bit too much on that one. And he spiked it right in front of home plate, a ball and a strike. Gray now with a long look back in, and he turns it loose. And he hits the outside corner, and that's a strike with a breaking ball. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Well, if you're a pitcher, you always would like to start the inning with the opposing pitcher stepping to the plate. And again, Gray spikes another breaking ball, trying to get a swing and a miss from Chacin, and he does not fish for it. You like the pitcher to start the inning because you got to believe in your mind that it's an automatic out, or it's an out that you should get before you go back to the top of the order. There's a swing and a miss, a wild swing on a breaking ball by Chacin. And that's now 5 strikeouts so far in this ball game for Sonny Gray. 1 down for Lorenzo Cain. Last year for Cain, awfully good in the leadoff spot. This year, it has been a bit of a struggle. I think if you look at the batting average for Cain right now at the 245 mark, it's about the lowest that he's had at this point, really at the halfway point in his entire career. And he takes a breaking ball inside, 1-0 for a brief period of time. Manager Craig Counsell was hitting his catcher Yasmani Grandal in the leadoff spot. Gray, the slow step back, pitch to the plate, fouled off the end of the bat, off the Reds dugout, and the count is even at a ball and a strike. So far, Gray has He's really been able to stay out of the middle of the plate, and he's kept the Brewers off balance for the most part. Again, Casale sets down and away. Here's a breaking ball lifted into right field, slicing to the corner, and the seat's out of play. There is no doubt when Lorenzo Cain steps to the plate that he is trying to hit the ball the other way, trying to stay inside through the ball. And when he does center it up, more times than not, it's in the right center field gap. And that's where the Reds shade not only Jesse Winker, but they've got Yasiel Puig playing a bit shallow. And another foul ball down the right field line, and again in the seats and out of play. Even the left fielder Derek Dietrich is playing towards the left center field gap, just in case a breaking ball stays in the middle of the plate. Cain able to pull it. The 1-2 from Sonny Gray, swing and a foul in and out of the mitt of Kurt Casale, and that was one that really tied up Cain. The upper body started out over the plate. The fastball runs right in on his hands, and he did a heck of a job just to get any kind of piece of that pitch. 1-2 count to Gray as he turns it loose, and he's going to miss off the outside corner. More of a sweeping breaking ball rather than the over-the-top curveball. It's the one thing Gray can do. When he is on with his breaking ball, it'll appear to be two different pitches. Curveball over the top and a little bit of a slider down and away. Here's a hard hit ball backhanded by Iglesias. Throw to first in time. 2 down. Nice play by the Reds shortstop. And that was that breaking ball that stayed in the middle of the plate. Cain hit it right on the barrel, a one-hopper to the backhand side of Iglesias. And he made it look awfully easy for the second out of the inning. And here's Moustakas. Moustakas fooled by the breaking ball in his first attempt against Sonny Gray. Hit it off the end of the bat. Actually hit it right back to Gray on the mound. Takes the breaking ball in the dirt inside 1-0. Casale moves to the outside corner. The pitch just a bit down. 2 ball, no strike count here to Moustakas. Moustakas with some awfully good numbers, hitting at a 273 mark coming into today. And that pitch misses up and in. Ryan Braun, a right-handed batter, waiting in the on-deck circle. 24 home runs, 52 RBIs, 18 doubles for Moustakas. He has played both second and third base. There's a fastball right down Broadway. 3-1 now to the left-handed hitting third baseman. Now Gray to kick the pitch. And a tapper to first base. Votto will have it. He will take it himself. And a 3-up, 3-down third for Sonny Gray. Reds leading this one 1-0. Bottom of 3 coming up here on the Cincinnati Bell Reds Radio Network. Joey Votto to lead off the Reds' third inning as we pause for identification here on the Reds Radio Network.
Showers and storms possible tonight, a low of 72. A chance of afternoon showers and storms on the 4th of July, a high of 88. Partly sunny with showers and storms likely in the afternoon Friday, a high near 90. It's 77 degrees at the home of the Reds. News Radio 700 WLW Cincinnati.
First pitch to Votto is a fastball right at the top of the strike zone, right over the inside corner, and Chassin ahead. No balls and a strike. Votto already with a single on the board, and the breaking ball misses down and in, evens the count at a ball and a strike. Line drive into the left center field gap for Votto in his first at bat. And now he'll try to lead things off here for the Reds in the third. And that pitch misses up and away. Two ball, one strike count. And that's a strike over the inside corner. So both pitches here to Votto have been right on the inside edge, right at the top of the strike zone. Chacin back with a 2-2. This one pulled right at the backhand side of Thames at first. He'll take it himself for the first out here in the third. That'll bring Eugenio Suarez to the plate. Votto a bit out in front of that one, like a backdoor breaking ball that time from Chacin. Either that or a changeup. Definitely an off-speed pitch. Suarez a strikeout victim. First time up against Chacin. He has been the only batter Chacin has struck out, and he fouls the breaking ball back for strike one. And that was the pitch Chacin got him for the strikeout. That breaking ball down and away. No ball, one strike count. And again, Chacin turns it loose. And that one hit off the end of the bat. And you could see a few bat shards splintering into the air as Suarez will make his way towards the Reds dugout for a new piece of lumber. So well out in front of the first two pitches from Chacin, and that was a breaking ball that hung right in the middle of the plate. And just a bit out in front was Eugenio Suarez. Jeanette waiting on deck. Suarez trying to reach here. One down, top or bottom of the third. Reds leading 1-0. Breaking ball, and that bounces to the plate. And a quick check of first base umpire Bruce Dreckman, who is the crew chief of this umpiring group. No swing for Suarez. Now the 1-2 pitch. That hits the outside corner, a called strike three. And a bit of backward pitching by Chacin to Suarez in this at bat. Breaking balls early, and he gets him with the fastball late in this at bat. I think Suarez thought that pitch was outside, but Chacin got the benefit of the doubt on that call. And there's two down for Scooter Gennett. Gennett got in the box, looked out to the mound, and Chacin had already started, and he quickly called timeout. And home plate umpire Mike Estabrook granted the timeout, and now we're back set, ready to go. Pitch to the plate. And that's going to be a strike, a changeup right on the outside corner. Chacin turns it loose, and a breaking ball that bounces to the plate. Chacin has been able, for the most part, here in the early going, to get his off-speed pitches over the plate. Even though the Reds have hit some balls hard, they've only scored the one run. That was the home run by Yasiel Puig, who was standing in the on-deck circle. Swing and a miss, a sinking fastball down and away. And Gennett right over the top of it for strike two. One ball, two strike count. Gennett anchors that back foot into the batter's box. And that pitch misses off the plate away. Tailing fastball at 91 from the Brewer right-hander. Two ball, two strike count. Two down here in the Reds' third. And the pitch. And It's fouled to the left side. Another breaking ball from Chassin. It's not a big breaking ball, and it's not hard. It's 81 miles an hour. But he is throwing it right off the fastball, almost in the same plane, and the Reds are having a tough time centering it up. That fastball misses well up and away, and now the count is full here to Jeanette. The 3-2. Fouled to the left side, out of play. You just can't get too comfortable in the batter's box when you've got a guy on the mound that is throwing 3 different pitches for strikes. Fastball, changeup a bit of a split finger action from Chassin. And the breaking ball. And a swing and a miss, and he got him on a breaking ball down and in. And Jeanette out on strike. So a 3 up, 3 down third for Chassin. Reds leading this one 1-0. Sonny Gray back to the hill. He'll get Ryan Braun, Eric Thames, and Keston Hira. The game's 15th out is brought to you by Geico. Saving you money on car insurance has been Geico's home run for over 75 years. Get a quote today with a proud partner of Major League Baseball at geico.com. So easy, a caveman can do it. Here's Braun. He chased 3 breaking balls well off the outside corner in his first at bat. Sonny Gray starts him with that exact pitch, and it's a strike this time. But again, Gray ahead in the count, 0-1. Fastball inside corner, strike 2. Braun has had quite a bit of success in this ballpark over the years. 26 home runs as a visiting player. He's also struck out the most times as a visiting player in this park. He fouls that one to the right side, out of play. Gray ahead quickly. No balls and 2 strikes. Braun always holds up that backhand as he steps in the box, wanting timeout until he gets everything nice and set. Swing and a miss. Chased another breaking ball in the dirt. Braun has struck out twice here tonight. 1 down, and that's 6 for Sonny Gray. Ball must really look like a fastball to see the chase from the Brewers here tonight. Eric Thames, he had a hit his first time up. Single into right field. And now Gray will go to work. And a bullet back up the middle, a 1-hopper. Iglesias will take it. He will throw to first, and that ball took Sonny Gray to his knees. It was right back at his nugget. 2 down. And here's Hira. You get a ball coming back to the mound. Even on a ball that's hit softly back to the mound, it is very difficult to judge the velocity and really the location because of your body movement as you release the ball to the plate. And when you get a ball hit back like Thames just hit that ball, you feel very fortunate that it did not hit you somewhere. Strike over the outside corner. Gray with a good pitch here to Hira. And he struck out Keston Hira in his first at bat. Swing and a miss at a breaking ball, down and away. And Gray again quickly ahead in the count. No balls and 2 strikes. Sonny Gray is in a pretty good spot pitch-wise, especially as many strikeouts as he has had here in the early going. This will be his 55th pitch of the night. And a swing and a miss, and it's a dandy. The old high heater, and he struck out 7 through the first 4. Reds leading this one 1-0. Bottom of 4 coming up here. Reds will start it up with Yasiel Puig to begin this bottom of the 4th inning. Tonight's Toyota Tundra Home Runs Challenge contestant, if I can get it out, that would be Michael Miller here of Cincinnati. And if a home run hit by a Reds player during tonight's game hits the Toyota sign, that's located out in right center field between the PNC Power stacks. Well, Michael, you'll win a brand new 2019 Tundra, all courtesy of your Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky Toyota dealers. Michael Miller from right here in Cincinnati. Good luck. First pitch is a strike here to Yasiel Puig. A fastball over the outside corner. And another fastball, and yes, another strike. And Puig did not like the second call. Fastball starting a bit off the plate and then coming back to the outside edge. And when you can do that on a regular basis, you can frustrate a lot of hitters. 1-2 count. And a breaking ball well off the outside corner. Puig started and stopped in time. That'll even the count at 2-2. Puig, the big home run to lead off the second. That's the lone run that either team has scored in this ball game thus far. And the 2-2 pitch and a swing and a miss and a breaking ball in the dirt. 1 down. That's now 3 strikeouts in a row for the right-hander Chassin. 1 down for Derek Dietrich. It's a benefit of being able to start that fastball off the plate and bring it back to the outside corner. Right-hander versus right-handed batter. Because you can start the breaking ball out there. The hitter has to honor it. And the ball goes to the left rather than coming back to the plate. You get some ugly swing. Breaking ball, that's in the dirt to Dietrich. He will take it for ball 1. Moustakas playing right on the grass in between second and third base. Here's a bullet just foul down the right field line. Dietrich tattooed that pitch, but just a bit out in front. Got Moustakas between second and third, and then you've got the shortstop Saladino playing a deep second base, and then you've got Keston Hiura, the second baseman for the Brewers, basically playing a short right field. And follow the game this day and age, that's a normal alignment for a lot of left-handed hitters or right-handed batters for that matter. Strike 2 over the outside corner, a fastball down and away from Dietrich, and that will back Moustakas up to the shortstop spot. A 1-2 strike count, 1 down here in the Reds' 4th. Reds leading the Brewers 1-0 here in Game 3 of this 4-game series. Swing and a miss, and that's now 4 in a row. A changeup down and away from Dietrich, and he's right underneath it. The changing of speeds within the strike zone and moving the fastball around just enough has got Chassin in a pretty good groove right now. And now he'll see Jose Iglesias. Shows bunt, takes strike right on the outside corner. And Chassin picking up the pace a little bit. There's a swing and a miss, another fastball, and that was over the plate, up and away. And Iglesias a bit underneath it. But down in the count 0-2, and Chassin again turns it loose. Up and in with the fastball. One ball, 2 strike count. Now Chassin will back off the mound. Evidently he did not like what his catcher Manny Pena was putting down. And a Breaking ball. Pena was heading to the dugout on the third base side on the check swing by Iglesias. Pena thought he went. Bruce Dreckman, the first base umpire, disagreed. And Dreckman has the final call on that matter. So Iglesias back in the box. Chassin back to the plate, and he spins a breaking ball up and in as Iglesias just does get out of the way of that one. And the count will run full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. The pitch. Popped up right on top of the mound. Chassin wants it. He's got it. And back-to-back 3 up, 3 down innings for the Brewer right-hander. Through 4, Reds 1, Brewers none.
We move to the top of the 5th inning. It's still a 1-0 game. Reds have the lead on the 2nd inning home run by Yasiel Puig. The Reds have made some changes. Derek Dietrich has moved from left field to second base. Nick Senzel has come off the bench to play center. Jesse Winker has moved over to play left. And that means that Scooter Gennett's out of the lineup. And that is one guy that you keep your fingers crossed on to find out exactly the reason why he is no longer in the Reds lineup. First pitch, a breaking ball to Ben Gamble that's in for a strike. Gamble had a base hit back in the 2nd. That's the inning in which Milwaukee threatened. They had 2 hits in that inning, but Sonny Gray was able to overcome the threat, and since that time he's been in Fat City, having retired 8 batters in a row. And along the way, through 4 innings tonight, he has struck out 7 and has not walked a batter. He is 1-1 right now on the left-handed batting Gamble, who had a base hit to right. And that breaking ball stays high. The count goes to 2-1. Pitch count pitching here in the 5th inning is 58. Gray sets up on the right side of the pitching rubber as we look down on the field. Throws an inside breaking ball for a strike. And the count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Cubbies starving for a win. Have an early 2-0 lead over the Pittsburgh Pirates, who have beaten the Cubs in back-to-back ball games. Swing at a miss, and there's punch out number 8. I don't know that we've seen Sonny Gray run off 4+ innings the way he's pitching tonight all season long.
I think the breaking ball is the total key to that. I think it makes him comfortable when he's able to spin the ball the way he's spinning it tonight. And that just makes the fastball, you throw it with that much more confidence.
I want to work now on Tyler Saladino, who had an opportunity to do some damage in the 2nd with 2 runners on and struck out. And he takes a first pitch strike. If you're listening tonight on your car or truck radio, as always, please remember to buckle your safety belt. This message brought to you by the Ohio Department of Public Safety. If you're not buckled up, what's holding you back? 1 ball and 1 strike to the right-handed batting former Chicago White Sox property. Saladino was swinging the bat well, prompting his call-up this past Friday from their club in San Antonio. Just a bit low for a ball. 14 homers and 57 runs batted in to go with a .288 batting average. And starting tonight for the 2nd time in the 3 games, Orlando Arcia played shortstop last night. 2-1 pitch up the middle, and that will be a base hit. So Saladino gets his first hit in the season for Milwaukee. He was 0 for 14 since his call-up, and he grounds one up the middle, and he's on with 1 out for catcher Manny Pena. Get into a forced play in the 2nd, so Pena 0 for 1. 3rd hit of the game for Milwaukee. The Reds have collected 4 hits off of Chassin. And it's a 1-0 game here in the top of the 5th inning. Now the stretch and the pitch. And it's a strike. Got a pretty good Wednesday night crowd here tonight. Getting an early start on tomorrow. Here's the 0-1 pitch. After the long hold, and that one is taken for strike 2. Pena back in the box. As pitcher Chacin waits on deck, there's one out in the inning. And Gray unloading, and that's a swing and a foul ball. A big cut by Manny Pena, holding the count at no balls and 2 strikes. It seems like something is not quite right when over a period of 3 days, 4 days maybe, we have to talk about the passing of a notable, a figure. It was Tyler Skaggs, a tragedy, and finding him dead in his bed in a hotel in Houston. We mentioned our good friend Harold Dates, who passed away unexpectedly recently, and now today as the runner goes and the pitch is swung on and missed, and the throw down gets through and goes into center and enables a runner to move on to third base. So a strikeout of Pena, the 9th of the game, and a throwing error on Kurt Casale that enables Saladino to go to third and bring up the pitcher Chacin. Today came the news, unfortunate as always, that former UK quarterback and New York Giants quarterback Jared Lorenzen had passed away. He had been sick for quite some time, had battled a weight problem for years and years and years, was a record-setting quarterback for the Kentucky Wildcats, and won a Super Bowl ring in one of the 2 years he was a member of the New York Giants. And we certainly extend our sympathies and our prayers to the family. Here's a ground ball to third that Suarez makes a pickup on to throw Chacin out. And it's just a tragedy that we have to announce a passing of Jared Lorenzen. He used to play in our golf tournament in September every year, lit up. Iglesias, Casale, Gray, the way they stack up in this round number 5 for the Redlegs against Yolis Chacin. Iglesias, or rather Casale, Gray, and Winker, I should say, are the 8, 9, and 1. The first pitch, a breaking ball that drops into Casale for a strike. He hit one a ton in the second, but sure-handed Lorenzo Cain was able to get back and make the play on the ball. The 0-1, and another one for strike 2. Strike 2 pitch coming, and he struck him out swinging. He didn't waste any time. 3 pitches, see you later, and the offensive woes for one Kurt Casale continue. Here's Sonny Gray, who's 1 for 1. Fans now through July 7th at Mike Castrucci Ford, Lincoln, or Chevy. When you purchase a new vehicle, you'll receive 2 complimentary Reds Pick 6 ticket packages. That's 12 total Reds tickets. This deal only available through July 7th at Mike Castrucci in Milford and in Alexandria. 1 ball and no strikes. Sonny Gray lined a base hit into right his first time up. And this is a ground ball to first, but this time it's right at Eric Thames and to the bag. First baseman getting the put out. They're 2 out. Jesse Winker has grounded out twice. He's bounced to first. He has grounded out to second. And now we've got a time called, and apparently Milwaukee manager Craig Counsell wondering if there's not something physically amiss with Chacin, because he's being accompanied to the mound by the Milwaukee trainer, and pitching coach Chris Hook is on his way out also.
Well, Chacin grabbed at his right side a little bit and kind of twisted left and right. That's one of those things that will draw the manager, the trainer, and everybody else when you see that from the dugout. Those rib cage issues for a pitcher or a hitter, well, you do not want to have them exacerbate.
Well, they cleared the mound, allowed him to throw 1 pitch or 2 pitches down, and he says, I'm fine. So everybody goes back from whence they came, and plate umpire Mike Westerbrook makes sure that David Bell and his people know over in that first base dugout that does not count as a trip. So Jesse Winker, the 2-out batter. Nine in a row retired by Chassin since Sonny Gray's base hit in the second inning. 1 ball and no strikes on Winker.
Thing about that rib cage issue or the oblique, as we saw with Cole Hamels, there is no hiding it. You feel it, it's over.
Yeah, that's not a good thing.
No, you just can't hide it. It's like getting punched in the throat. Every time you throw a ball, you just can't hide it.
2 balls and no strikes. And now a strike on the inside. What's interesting about this game is that here we are in the bottom of the 5th with 2 out, and neither pitcher has issued a base on balls.
They have struck out almost everybody.
They really
that's
have.
come up there.
Sonny Gray has 9 punch outs, and Chassin has struck out 6. That's a ground ball, diving stop deep behind the bag by Thames.
Nice play.
And right onto the bag. He hit it hard, did Winker, but it goes as an out because of a nice play by first baseman Eric Thames. We go to the top of the 6th. Close encounter continues. 1-0 Redlegs on the Cincinnati Bell Reds Radio Network. Bradley and Tommy Thrall and our engineer, producer, and our mentor and spiritual leader, Dave Yiddy Armbruster, Marty Brenneman back at GABP. And now as we go to the 6th inning with the Reds up 1-0, Sonny Gray confronted by the top of the Milwaukee batting order. Lorenzo Cain, Mike Moustakas, Ryan Braun, third time through the order for Sonny Gray, in which he is allowed through 5 innings, 3 hits, 9 punch outs, and going to work on Lorenzo Cain. And the pitch is taken for a strike. We take a look at our scoreboard stuffer brought to you by First Financial Bank. We go beyond banking by putting you first. First Financial Bank member, FDIC. And the 0-1. That's up the middle, and that's a base hit. And that's how the 6th inning begins as Lorenzo Cain reaches on a single. Since 2000, 6 players have collected 180 or more hits in a single season while playing for the Reds. Who are they? Since 2000, 6 players have collected 180 or more hits in a season while playing for the Redlegs. Name them.
Jose Peraza.
That's one of them.
Last year.
That's a great big old bingo. Had 182 of them.
Since 2000?
Yes, sir. Call strike to Mike Moustakas. Yes, sir. Pretty good. 2 of these guys did it twice. Moustakas bounce out twice tonight, down a strike. Lorenzo Cain at first. That's a ball inside.
I don't think Votto has had 180 hits.
1-1 to count. The infield would love to get a double play ball right here and kill off any ideas Milwaukee might have of getting something on the board after the leadoff base hit by Cain. And Gray wields that throw on to Votto to drive the runner back.
About Suarez?
That would be incorrect.
No.
Negative. First time it was done in this decade or in this century was in 2002. The pitch high in the air and playable on the infield. Foul territory, and who's going to get it? Suarez is going to get it. Sonny Gray looked like he wanted to get right in the middle of it, and obviously was called off, or else he called on Suarez, whatever the case might be. But Eugenio made the catch. And a big out of Moustakas, and now it'll be Ryan Braun.
Sean Casey?
Bingo. See when Case did it. He did it in 2004. You've got Casey.
How many are there?
6 of them. Ryan Braun is hoping the third time is a charm. He has been up twice, and both times he has been a strikeout victim. And he swings on this first pitch and bounces it to the on-deck batter, Eric Thames. Any response from the peanut gallery?
I'm just thinking.
He's gone.
Talking about Tommy?
Yeah, he's probably gone to look for a haircut.
You're going to give that boy a complex.
He's held up very well. Here's a slow bouncing ball, shortstop. Iglesias to second, and the throw to first. They say double play. Let's see if that call will stand up. Greg Council's already thrown up his right hand. No doubt about the force play. Council has great differences of opinion as to maybe the call at first base, and was it a double play, or did Ryan Braun beat the... Joey Votto will stand in for the third time tonight to swing the bat off of Yolis Chassin. He is singled and 2 times up. Our guys here with a question: since 2006, players have collected 100 or more hits in 180 or more hits in a season while playing for the Redlegs. They got Jose Peraza, and they had Sean Casey.
I'm going to throw Votto up there.
And that would be correct. Votto's done it twice. He's one of the 2 who have done it 2 times. He had 185 hits in 2011 and 181 hits in 2016. 1 ball, 2 balls, and 1 strike on Votto. So you've got 3 more to go. The pitch. Swing and a squiver along the third base line. Picked up by Manny Pena, and he'll throw Votto out.
I thought that was going to roll foul.
So did Pena. He
had a lot of spin on it
right now. I will give you one clue, and that is that of the 3 remaining names on this list, all 3 are infielders.
Brandon Phillips.
Did it twice.
That helped me.
I know. In fact, his one of the 2 years he did it, he had more hits in 1 year than any of the other names on this list.
More than Sean Casey?
He had 187 12 years ago, and Casey had 185. So you've got...
Casey could rake.
Yep, you got 2 more infielders.
Okay.
Right now, pitcher Chassin comes down off the mound to have a bit of a conversation with the plate umpire, Mike Estabrook. Cannot imagine what that might have been all about, but they're breaking it up. Come see the Reds. Be sure you've downloaded Ballpark. It's the official Great American Ballpark app. Check in at the game to unlock special offers, exclusive content, and seat upgrades. Download Ballpark for free and play baseball bingo presented by Dynegy. Swing and a miss. And that's all she wrote. And Suarez has struck out 3 straight times tonight against Chassin. 2-out batter. And here is Nick Senzel about to bat for the first time in the game. First pitch, strike 1.
Really having a break.
I'm sure you are. One of these you're going to be
mad that I didn't
kicking yourself. And the other one, you're not going to be surprised that his name's on this list because this guy could hit. I'm going to give you a clue right now, and you'll answer it immediately because you respond well to clues.
I'm good with him.
Louisiana State University. Unless I'm dead wrong about where this guy went to school. That's a strikeout swinging.
Better give him to me.
All right, well, the one you didn't get and you should have was only 2 last year. Scooter Gennett had 181 hits. And back in 2002, Tide Walker had 180.
Eric Thames to lead things off for the Brewers as we begin the 7th inning. Both starters still in this ball game as we head to the 7th. Sonny Gray for the Reds. He's leading 1-0 over Yolis Chassin, who has retired 13 consecutive. But he gave up the home run to Yasiel Puig. Back to begin the 2nd as Gray pours in strike 1, a breaking ball over the outside corner. Swing and a foul on a fastball in off the plate. And Gray quickly ahead in the count, no balls and 2 strikes. I feel like I've said that more times tonight than I have in quite some time. You get ahead 0-2, that's when you can pile up the strikeout numbers, and Gray has done that here tonight. He has 9 of them. But there are not too many 1-0 ball games that finish in this ballpark. Every pitch here in the last 3 innings will be critical for both sides. Gray, a hesitation, pitch, fastball up and in. And that clocked in at 94 miles an hour from Sonny Gray. 1 ball, 2 strike count. And the right-hander back to the plate. Breaking ball down and in, and Thames lays off on it. Thames 1 for 2 tonight. Singled his first time up. Grounded out to the shortstop, Iglesias. It was not basically to the shortstop position. It was a bullet back up the middle, and Iglesias just happened to be there. Popped up high into the air. Senzel will have it when it comes down. He's got it. 1 out. Here's Keston Hira. There has not been a whole lot of fall off, if any at all, from Sonny Gray since the first pitch of this ball game. He struck out Lorenzo Cain to begin the game. He has just continued right on along. Hira, right-handed batter. Swing and a miss. And there's that wicked breaking ball down and away. Gray has really stayed closed off with that front side tonight. And that breaking ball has had some kind of bite to it. Fastball inside for strike 2. He just threw that by him. Now, there are some starting pitchers you get to this point in the ball game and they're looking into the first base dugout. Gray not looking over there at all. He just continues to dial it up. This is the hardest we've seen him throw really the entire game. 1 out here in the 7th, and he's winning 1-0. Of course, when you've got a 1-run lead this late, you better turn it up. And a swing and a miss, and he is struck out. Hira, and that's number 10 on the night as Casale blocks it in the dirt. Throws on Dovato to complete the strikeout.
I think there's a faint aroma of pepperoni pizza wafting throughout the ballpark right now.
Well, Keston Hira has helped in that direction 3 times here tonight. And that'll bring Ben Gamble to the plate. He has singled and he has struck out. So 2 down here in the 7th. Gray trying to retire the side in order for the 4th time here tonight. And a breaking ball misses just underneath the strike zone over the outside corner, 1-0. Gray looks in, turns it loose. And there's a curveball pulled foul over towards the Reds dugout. 1 ball and a strike here to Gamble. Gray only 2 off his career high in strikeouts. He has been on the mark here tonight. The pitch. And a tapper down the first base line. It will roll foul. Votto coming to the ball, lets it roll as far as it possibly could. It almost came back and hit the first base bag, and Gamble never ran. But a 1-ball, 2-strike count. This would be some kind of cheer if he punches out Gamble here. Well, the fans are starting to sense that this is a pizza strikeout if he gets it. 1-2 pitch coming. Up and in, just a bit high. Gray putting a little extra on that pitch. Two-ball, 2-strike count. Left-handed hitting Ben Gamble waiting on Sonny Gray to the plate. And strike 3 called, and that indeed is Free LaRosa's Pizza. And Sonny Gray will walk off the mound after punching out back-to-back hitters to end the Brewers' 7th. 1-0 Reds, bottom of 7. Coming up here on the Cincinnati Bell Reds Radio Network. 1-0 Reds as we begin the bottom of the 7th inning. The man responsible for the 1 run, well, he's standing at the plate. That would be Yasiel Puig. A leadoff home run in the 2nd inning. The only run in the ball game as he takes a breaking ball off the outside corner. 1-0. Puig has homered, struck out in his last at bat as he led off the 4th, and now he leads off the 7th. Line drive up the middle. That's a base hit for Yasiel Puig into center field. And that will begin the Reds' 7th as we pause for identification here on the Reds Radio Network.
One of the greatest quarterbacks to come out of Northern Kentucky, who went on to be known as the Hefty Lefty at the University of Kentucky, has died. Get the latest after the game on the home of the Reds, News Radio 700 WLW Cincinnati.
We've had a couple of line drives that have been right back up the middle. One to Sonny Gray that ultimately Iglesias fielded. Here's a base hit in the right field by Dietrich. So the Reds coming on here in the 7th. Back-to-back singles by Puig and Dietrich. The ball that Yasiel Puig hit was a laser shot back up the middle. It tipped right off the edge of the glove of the pitcher, Chassin. And now it appears Chris Hook is going to head out to the mound, the pitching coach for the Brewers, as Jeremy Jeffress begins to loosen in the Brewer bullpen. 7th inning of play. Chassin had retired 13 consecutive Reds here in this ball game. And he gives up back-to-back singles to begin this 7th inning. Now the hero of last night's ball game, Jose Iglesias, will step to the plate with a chance to provide a little bit of add-on offense. And if you have ever watched this Brewers-Reds series, anytime that you can add on, you better take advantage of it. Puig at second, Dietrich at first base. The Brewers will pull their infield in on the corners. You'd almost think that they are expecting bunt here. I don't think Iglesias is bunting the pitch. And he takes the fastball right down Broadway. Strike 1. Moustakas way in on the cut of the grass at third base. Thames standing right on the edge of the grass at first. Middle infielders Hira and Saladino at double play depth. One hopper back up the middle. That's a base hit. Puig rounding third, and he's heading home, and it's a 2-0 Reds lead. So Iglesias, as he did last night, does it again here tonight, driving home Yasiel Puig. And it gives the Reds a 2-0 lead. That was a breaking ball. Looked like it was 3 or 4 inches off the outside corner. Iglesias lunged for it, barreled it up, hit it right back up the middle for an RBI single, and that's going to be all she wrote for Yolis Chassin here tonight. Craig Counsell heading to the mound. It appears Jeremy Jeffress, a right-hander, will come out of the Brewer bullpen. 2-0 Reds. We'll be right back here on the Cincinnati Bell Reds Radio Network. Jeffress to the set. He checks second once. Pitch. Breaking ball. Strike over the outside corner. Well, Yolis Chassin threw the ball awfully well here tonight, but he still has not won since April 30th. He will not have a chance to win this ball game here tonight. Fastball, strike 2, right at the bottom of the strike zone. Splits the plate in half. No ball, 2-strike count. Jeffress turns it loose, and a tapper foul at home plate. Hard sinking fastball right in on the hands of Casale. Count remains 0-2. Dietrich at second, Iglesias at first base. This is one of those innings where you've got a chance to blow it wide open. A 1-0 ball game can turn in your favor awfully quick if you can put a base hit or 2 together with these runners aboard. The 0-2 pitch and a slider just off the outside corner. Casale holds up just in time. One ball, 2-strike count. Jeffress at the belt and out of the plate. Swing and a miss. Fastball inside, and he just threw that one by Casale for strike 3. 1 down. And that'll bring Sonny Gray to the plate. Almost got to bet he's bunting here. Gray 1 for 2 tonight. Singled in his first at bat right through the right side of the infield. The Brewers will bring in Moustakas from third, as well as Thames from first base. Jeffress with a long look into Pena. Now the Brewer righty comes set. He'll check second base once. Pitch. And it's bunted to the third base side. Jeffress has one play. It's at first. He makes it, but a perfect execution of a sacrifice bunt by Sonny Gray as he moves the Reds base runners along to second and third base. 2 down, and here's Jesse Winker. Jeffress got to the bunt quickly, but the ball just stopped as it hit the grass. He had no chance at third base. Flips on to the second baseman, Hira covering at first. Now the Reds will need a 2-out hit to add to their 2-0 lead with Jesse Winker stepping to the plate. Winker 0 for 3 tonight. He has grounded out twice to Thames at first base and grounded out to the second baseman, Hira, in his other at bat. 0 for 3, waiting on Jeffress. Fastball strike right at the top of the strike zone, right over the outside corner. 0-1 count as Jeffress comes to the set at the belt and to the plate, and it's fouled to the left side, out of play. Back-to-back fastballs running down and away from Winker. Takes one, fouls one off, but he's in an 0-2 hole. Now the Brewers really pull around to the pull side of the infield against Winker with the 2-strike count. And he fouls this one off towards the Reds dugout. A breaking ball down and in, and he just did get a piece of it. Count stays 0-2. Dietrich third, Iglesias at second base. And nobody holding either base runner. It is all about Winker and Jeffress right now. The 0-2 count, pitch to the plate. It's lifted into right field, but will be caught by Gamble. And the Reds are retired. They have scored a second run, leading 2-0 as we head to the 8th. Back to Marty Brenneman here on the Cincinnati Bell Reds Radio Network.
Top of the 8th inning, and Tyler Saladino leads things off against Sonny Gray. And the first pitch is what he's done almost without exception all night long, and that's throw a strike. He has punched out 11. He has given them 4 hits. He has not walked a batter, and he's working right now with a 2-run lead. That pitch stays a bit in. 1 ball, 1 strike. His pitch count right now standing at 92.
It's awfully good heading into the 8th.
Especially when you punched out 11 batters. Now the 1-1 pitch. That's a foul ball. Now you got Pena on deck, and then you're going to get a hitter for Jeremy Jeffress. And, of course, they've got the 2 big bats over on that dugout bench, and Christian Yelich and Yasmani Grandal. You'd love, if they're going to hit, and most assuredly one and probably both before this game's over, I'd like to see them come up with the bases empty. That pitch should not miss by very much. And it's 2-2. Chacin 6+, 2 runs earned, 7 hits, 8 strikeouts, not a walk. Swing and a miss. Strikeout number 12, which equals his career high.
All right, folks, it is time for Ask Marty. And this is where we ask the Hall of Famer to give his thoughts on any subject. Sometimes baseball, sometimes, well, a lot of other things.
Yeah, a lot of other things.
But always presented by CBTS. Tonight's question comes from Win One Super Bowl. I like this question.
Win 1 Super Bowl.
Living and working in North Carolina for so long, when you, Marty Brenneman,
Yes.
hear someone mention the King,
Right.
do you think of Elvis or do you think of Richard Petty?
You know, that's a great question. Here's a 1-0 pitch, and Pena takes a strike. Well, going back to my days at Carolina in Chapel Hill, which would have been 63, 64, 65.
Right when I was born.
Yeah, I know. I would have most definitely said Elvis Presley. And for the longest kind of time, there's that breaking ball again for strike 2 call.
Not lost anything.
And I don't think you can take the tag King away from either one of them, to be exact. I mean, you're talking about 2 different types of celebrity. And, I mean, the King, Elvis Presley, head and shoulders
King of rock and roll.
of all monarchies in the world. But Richard Petty, I tell you, boy, Randleman, North Carolina guy, he was something.
He was an intimidator.
Yes, he certainly was. And he could drive as good as anybody who ever got behind the wheel of a car in a competitive situation. 3-2 the count. That's a very good question. You ask the majority of people in North Carolina, they will probably tell you Richard Petty. Yeah. Here's a 3-2 pitch. And it's in the air to right field. That ball's hit well. Puig dropping back close to the wall and got it.
And ran into the wall.
He hit the wall hard, but he's all right. I'll tell you one thing. You can say whatever you want to say about him. Those that take a dim view of some of the things that go on when he's in the game, he plays hard 100% of the time. He makes things happen. We saw that last night. He's played a great right field defensively. Yasiel Puig has been a major asset to this ball club without any question.
He was bound and determined to run through the wall to catch that ball. He never looked back at it.
Nope.
He kept his eye on the ball, and he made the catch right as he hit the wall.
Here's Yasmani Grandal pinch hitting for Jeremy Jeffress, and the pitch is inside.
There is no pulling up the skirt with Yasiel Puig as he gets to the wall. You can book that.
So 2 out here in the top of the 8th inning with the Reds up by a couple of runs. And Grandal now ahead in the count, 2 balls and no strikes. He went 3-2 on Pena. I can't recollect him going a 3-ball count.
If there has been, it has not been many.
You can count them on 2 or 3 fingers. And now he's behind to Grandal, 2 balls and no strikes. The pitch count at 1-0-3. Obviously, David Bell hoping he can get through this 8th inning. He needs 1 more out. Grandal takes ball 3. And there is activity underway in the Reds bullpen now.
David Hernandez.
David Hernandez heating up, needing a strike, Sonny Gray, and cannot get it. So he's walked Grandal on 4 pitches, and here comes the Reds manager. You cannot disagree with this move by David Bell. He is not going to allow Sonny Gray to lose this game.
You can't.
And already the crowd anticipates what's going to happen, and many now are standing. In fact, more and more are standing and applauding what has been one of the truly fine pitching performances we have seen from a Reds pitcher this season, and David Bell is leaving him in. Listen to this crowd and their reaction to that decision. So now it's Lorenzo Cain. He had a single his last time up back in the 6th inning. Ball 1. Now, if you're the Reds manager, you're really going to be between a rock and a hard place if Cain gets on, because now you got a guy waiting in the on-deck circle to bat next who would represent the go-ahead run. And he knows what hitting balls out of parks are all about, and Mike Moustakas. The 1-0 pitch. Cain fouls, and the count evens.
Well, what makes the rock and the hard place even more prevalent is you have a right-hander throwing in the pen and not Amir Garrett. And there is a left-hander with some juice on deck.
A strikeout and a deep fly to right preceded the 4-pitch walk to Grandal. And now it's a ball and 1 strike on Lorenzo Cain. As Sonny started into his stretch, Cain called timeout. Now pitcher and batter ready. The pause, the 1-1. And that's low and away, ball 2. Well, there's some pitchers that will tell the manager the truth, and there's some guys that will not tell the manager the truth because you want to stay in the game. The 2-1 pitch. And that's a foul ball to even the count, and Lorenzo Cain apparently upset with his inability to do something with that pitch.
No, that was a hanging breaking ball up and out over the plate. It did not have nearly the bite that we have seen from the majority of the breaking balls that Sonny Gray has thrown tonight.
Yeah, Cain got a great pitch to hit right there.
And you'd really like to see an action pitch here on 2-2.
Well, the break-even pitch is on the way after the check of Grandal. Here it is, and he grounds foul outside the first base coaching box.
I mean, every pitcher is in a fatigue spot at 110 pitches, especially this day and age. But when you have everybody in the stadium standing on their feet and clapping, that gives you just that extra bit of juice to find something deep down inside to make that one pitch.
Popped him up. Shallow right field. Going out Dietrich, coming on Puig. Puig's got it. Inning over. Good job, Sonny Gray. Bottom of the 8th coming up, and the Reds have a 2-0 lead as Gray gets a standing O on the Cincinnati Bell Reds radio network. Votto, Suarez, Senzel is how the Reds stack up and what they hope will be their final at-bat of the night. Jeremy Jeffress works an inning and gets a strikeout. Thus, Wilkerson becomes their third of the night. And he works to Votto, and Joey takes ball 1. He's had a hit and 2 groundouts in his 3 previous at-bats. Two balls and no strikes.
You've got Raisel Iglesias heating up in a hurry in the Reds bullpen.
Yeah, and in the 9th, he'll be getting 2, 3, and 4. Moustakas, Braun, and Thames are the scheduled batters. Check swing by Votto and checked in time 3-0.
If indeed Sonny Gray is done.
Correct. I got to believe he's done.
The Reds do not have a complete game this year.
Time called as Votto backs away from the plate. He stands now 1 pitch out of the strike zone away from a leadoff walk. Ball 4. That's how the 8th begins for the Reds, and now Eugenio Suarez privately saying, thank God that Yolis Chacin is no longer on the mound. He faced him 3 times. He struck him out 3 times, and now facing Wilkerson after Votto gets a walk.
Let's look back at this Cincinnati Bell trivia question.
I was hoping you'd forget that.
I know you were. In the 5th inning of the 1954 All-Star Game, the Big Clue hit a 2-run home run to become the first Red to homer in an All-Star game. In the 8th inning of that game, one of Clue's teammates hit what remains the only pinch-hit home run by a Red in All-Star history.
Here's a fly ball hammered down the right field line. That ball's going to be a foul ball. Hit with authority, but foul at the last moment.
The question that you had tonight was, who was that player that had the only pinch-hit home run by a Red in All-Star history? Was it A, Ed Bailey, B, Gus Bell, C, Wally Post? In your haste early in the 2nd inning, you said C, Wally Post.
I did.
Now that you have had not your normal amount of time, because this game has gone along fast, but you've had time to think about it.
I have, and I have done that. I have done that.
Do you want to stay with C, Wally Post, or would you like Gus Bell or Ed Bailey?
Here's the 0-1 pitch to Suarez, and that's a ball. I'm going to stay with Wally Post, and I'm very fearful that the right answer is Ed Bailey, but I'm going to stay with Wally Post.
Well, let's have a look.
All right.
The answer is neither of those.
Gus Bell?
Gus Bell.
Wow.
Hit a 2-run pinch-hit home run in the top of the 8th inning that gave the National League a 9-8 lead in the game, but the AL scored 3 runs in the bottom of the inning and held on for an 11-9 victory.
I'll be darned. How about that?
That's really not that easy of a question. That's when you want to bring in Joel Lucka.
That's correct. That is very true.
For a little assistance.
Yes.
Or a phone a friend, if you will.
Well, that's, I'm not above that. Foul ball out of play. Suarez hanging around behind the count, a ball and 2 strikes. First appearance in this series for Aaron Wilkerson. We've pretty much seen everybody else in that Milwaukee bullpen. Now the stretch and the 1-2 coming again. High, 2-2.
Just for your future reference, and I know you don't believe in this, but I'm just going to tell you anyway.
I know where you're going with it.
It's be a lot. Thought I'd tell you about it.
It's be a lot?
It's a be a lot.
I'll keep that in mind when you pose the next question tomorrow afternoon.
Yes, sir.
There's a question, bigger question than that, however. Foul ball.
And that would be?
What are we dining on tonight?
I'm eating the rest of those pork chops tonight when I get home.
Yeah, I mean, that would indicate that you didn't eat them all last night.
Well, I tried, but you can only eat so much when your eyes are kind of in your head's bobbing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
When you wake up after you've been chewing and there's still, well, I'm not going to go any further.
I certainly hope not. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Just missing with a breaking ball in, and now Wilkerson, after walking Votto, has gone 3-2 on Suarez. Even more troublesome because he was ahead in the count early.
It's one thing to fall asleep eating ice cream because it melts.
It's
another thing to fall asleep with a pork chop on your shirt. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know exactly right. I'm catching what you're throwing, big boy. 3-2. Let's see what Votto will be doing. Probably he ain't running. Suarez trying to avoid the golden sombrero here. Wilkerson sets for the payoff pitch. Here it comes. And it's lined to left, and that's a hit. And that's for more than one base. And Votto turns second and comes to third. He'll get the stop sign from the third base coach, J.R. House, and a double for Eugenio Suarez, his 16th of the year. And the Reds are in a great position right now to really put some distance between themselves and the first place Brewers.
Now, I'm wondering if David Bell has already made his decision to take Sonny Gray out of the ball game, or if he would allow him to try to finish this game because he has thrown the ball so well. If the Reds are able to put a couple more runs on the board, would you let him go back out and maybe try to finish it if he doesn't appear that he's struggling at all?
That's a very good question. I mean, if both of these runs score and you go up 4-0, we'll see. First pitch is taken for a strike. Tommy Thrall just made the comment as we look down that David Bell and Derek Johnson were deep in conversation just a second ago. Reds pitching coach, of course, Johnson. 1-0 on Senzel, and it's a ball away. He came into the game and off the bench in the fifth inning to play center when they moved people around, with Scooter Gennett having to leave the lineup. And as we later find out from media relations director Rob Butcher, tightness in his left groin that forced him out of the game. It was the right.
The hurt.
Well, that's right. Breaking ball strike. The right groin was the injury that he suffered in spring training that knocked him out for 78, 79 ball games. A 1-2 count. Votto at third, Suarez at second, nobody out. Reds trying to add to a 2-0 lead here in the eighth inning. Aaron Wilkerson deals, and it's high, 2-2.
And I think that's only natural with a leg injury, that you favor the other leg after you've hurt, especially the degree of injury that Scooter had in the right groin.
2-2. Nick Senzel swings, chops it back toward the foul ball. That ball with a big bounce.
Looked like it was going to the mound.
It did, and it ended up going foul off the first base side. Fans, no more need to eat out when you can enjoy the ultimate appetizer from home with JTM's new Craft House Creations beer, cheese, and pretzel bites. Find this favorite game day snack in your grocer's freezer. JTM, let's create great dishes together. The battle continues between Aaron Wilkerson and Nick Senzel. To the belt and onto the plate. And that's ball 3. Yasiel Puig on deck. Votto walked to begin the inning. Then came the double to left by Suarez that puts Aaron Wilkerson in this problematical situation. And that's grounded to third. The drawn in Moustakas freezes Votto and throws on to first. And now it'll be Yasiel Puig with 1 out. He has, for the second night in a row, been a force in this game. He homered back in the second. And then in the 7th inning, he led off with a single and came in to score on a base hit later by Jose Iglesias. So he has driven in 1, and he has scored 2. And now trying to put a hurt on him in this 4th at-bat of the night.
I would imagine if Wilkerson falls behind Puig, they will send him on to first base.
Wilkerson sets for the first pitch. It's on the way, and that one's high in the air. That's going to get a run in. It backs up Lorenzo Cain in center. He's camping. He catches. Votto tags. He'll come home, and the Reds have a 3-0 lead. It's getting it done. Cain's throw went into third base, meaning that Suarez stays at home being second at the moment. And now it'll be Derek Dietrich with 2 out. They're going to intentionally walk him and take their chances with Jose Iglesias.
Who has 2 hits on the night. I know,
you're walking a .223 batter to get to a guy who's batting over .290 and has had 2 hits and an RBI already tonight. And now Iglesias settling in, and simultaneous with that move, Wilkerson steps out of the pitching rubber, raises the head, and looks down and in for the sign from Manny Pena. The pitch. Call strike. First 2 runners and his first 2 batters in this inning both reached. The walk to Votto, the double by Suarez. Senzel grounds out, nobody moves. Sac fly by Puig, and Dietrich gets the walk. And that's away, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. The right-hander turns it loose. And time had been called. He held just a little bit too long. And the plate umpire gave Iglesias timeout.
Wilkerson was looking at second base and started to come through with his full motion. It's never a good feeling for a pitcher.
So they'll try it again as they lead at first and second. And that one slapped to short, and the flip on to the covering second baseman for the force out that ends the inning. But the Reds had another run. And now we go to the top of the ninth. Reds 3, Brewers nothing on the Cincinnati Bell Reds Radio Network.
Raisel Iglesias is on for the ninth. Sonny Gray's night is done, and what a night it was for the Reds right-hander. 8 shutout innings, and he threw the ball as well as I've ever seen him throw it. That's about as good as it gets. But Iglesias comes on, looking for his 15th save here in his 35th appearance.
Yeah, the Sonny Gray performance tonight is certainly one of the top 2 or 3 performances we've seen by a Red starter all year. I mean, when you give up 4 hits in 8 innings and pitch shutout baseball and you punch out 12.
That's getting it.
Yes, it is. So now it's Iglesias, and he'll go to work on Mike Moustakas, and the pitch is taken ball 1. Trying to figure this thing out when you still have Christian Yelich sitting on the bench, and we both feel that if he's going to hit, it will probably be for the second baseman, Keston Hiura. There's a foul ball out of play, and that would require somebody to get on base. But obviously one man getting on, now that the Reds have added a run in the bottom of the 8th to lead by 3, you can do the math. So we'll see how Craig Counsell thinks about this situation. The 1-1 pitch, and that's a foul ball. Fans at Kroger, it's easy to place your order online and pick up at the store. Try it right now if you're a late shopper, or try it first thing tomorrow at Kroger.com. Ball and 2 strikes. And a ground ball to the left side and right where he's playing. The pickup by Suarez, and he throws him out. Reds have been pretty fortunate the last couple of nights when they shift to the right side for a left-hand batter, as they do for Moustakas, and you've got one defender on the infield on the left side, and the ball hits right at him, and that's the way that play goes down. So the all-important first batter retired, and here's Ryan Braun.
Jose Peraza is in at second base for Derek Dietrich. He came on when Iglesias came into the ball game.
And Peraza batting 9th, and Iglesias hitting in the number 6 spot. Oh, he hit him with a pitch. That was 96 miles an hour if you're counting. Got him in the left shoulder, it looked like, and Braun heading on down to first. And the batter now will be Eric Thames.
Even though Keston Hiura is in the on-deck circle, if Thames gets aboard, I would imagine Christian Yelich will come to the plate.
And if he doesn't come to the plate, if that happens, here's a pitch, and that's a foul ball. It would make you think that there was something wrong with Christian Yelich. You try to see into the third base dugout, but where we're located sometimes it's difficult to see what's going on. 1 strike and nothing on the left-handed batting Thames, who singled on the infield back in the 2nd inning. That pitch is up and outside, even the count. Swing and a miss. He threw that ball by him. 95 on the inner part of the plate.
And a major uppercut swing by Thames. He was just late.
I don't think that Craig Counsell has any intention of using Christian Yelich. He's standing down in the dugout with his cap off. That ball is hit foul and out of play. Count holding at 1 ball and 2 strikes on Eric Thames. Three 0 Reds, top of the 9th, 1 out. With a runner at first base, Ryan Braun hit by a pitch. And Iglesias set to deal with the left-hand batter again and struck him out swinging.
Good changeup.
So now the second baseman, Hiura, will bat. Reds an out away from making it 2 wins in the first 3 games in this series. And now straddling the pitching rubber is Iglesias after looking into Kurt Casale for the sign.
Now Yelich has a bat in hand and a helmet on his head and standing at the top of the steps.
And the runner at first goes to second, Braun. And now Ben Gamble has been called back. And indeed, Christian Yelich has moved to the on-deck circle. So Greg Counsell figures, I'm going to hope that Keston Herrick can get on base and make Yelich the tying run. Quick meeting at the mound involving Kurt Casale and Raisel Iglesias and Jose Iglesias, and that meeting breaks up right now. Iglesias up a strike and now even at 1-1. The only time they have threatened tonight, actually, they had runners in scoring position in the second when they had a couple of singles, and then again in the 5th inning, they left Tyler Saladino at third base after he had singles stolen second. There's a called strike, and it advanced on a throwing error. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Sonny Gray brilliant for 8 innings tonight. Raisel Iglesias trying to be good for 1. The check of the runner in the 1-2 pitch. And he reaches, slaps it left side, up with it. Iglesias throwing out. And this one belongs to the Reds. Sonny Gray for 8. Raisel Iglesias for 1. And they collaborate on a 4-hit shutout as the Reds blank the Milwaukee Brewers by a score of 3-0. We'll be back in just a moment.